Hello, welcome to Straight to the Point, the Point Blank Properties podcast, where we're going to be discussing everything from real estate, what's happening in Dubai, as well as just anything we feel like. So I'm joined here by our area manager, Freddie Francis.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you.
Our CEO, Mr. Maz Berry.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all.
And obviously my name is Alex Devonport, I'm the sales director. So boys, what do we want to discuss? What's the point?
Well, I think it's pretty clear how the market's doing. Maz this week's been at 2 transfers this week alone?
Yeah, no, 5 transfers. Yeah.
5 transfers,
yeah.
well. So I mean, it's pretty clear where the market's going. Everyone's thinking over the summer it's cooling off a little bit, but the market's still hitting up high. Still hitting up pretty high marks where it's slowed down a little bit, I think we'd all say, price-wise, but then equally now it's just over summer. Coming back out in the summer now, I think it's doing all right, going in the right direction for a lot of sellers at the moment.
Yeah, I think we agree because obviously I know you do villas. Myself and Maz are downtown brokers at heart. Downtown obviously now has 0 plots available for sale. Mm-hmm. Everything that is available there has been gone. So within the next 5 to 7 years, probably looking at every single building that's under construction or yet to be constructed in downtown will be done. We'll have the first mature market in Dubai. But obviously this is the, should we say, the paradox. I speak to you, you're going to tell me villas are the best place to invest. You speak to us, we'll tell you downtown's the best place to invest. So Maz, in your opinion, without being a downtown biased broker, where would you say is the best place to invest in Dubai?
I still would say downtown, to be honest. I mean, downtown, it's not just because I'm a downtown broker, but, thinking about ROI, numbers, you can't hide things now. Everything is there. People can go to Dubai Index and just check, the transactions, the numbers, how much is being sold for, rent. I think what makes downtown the best spot for investment is a lot of this holiday homes business. Everybody wants to live right next to the Dubai Mall, next to the Burj Khalifa. So, there isn't really... I would say Marina comes second. But, just because it's a busy place and stuff like that, but it's still, I still remain downtown as the hottest spot if you're looking for the highest ROI.
100%. And leading on from that, what better way to say that your area is great for investment than the fact you've just bought a property in downtown, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
One thing I would say though is we are getting close to the point where the market's gone in Dubai, it's going to have to start mirroring it elsewhere down the line in other parts of the UAE. At the moment, if I talk to an investor that's got cash there ready to go, wanting something with capital appreciation, also something with a return of investment, the place I suggest is RAK.
Okay. Ras
Al Khaimah, 100%. Down there, you can look at getting studios for about 300,000 dirhams. And these are sea-facing studios, high floors. You've also got the new casino opening up down there. And the relax of the casino laws and gambling laws, I think I saw something that they're hoping to bring billions every year. I've got a figure in my mind, but I don't want to say it in case it's not right. And then
typical broker trying to lie about numbers, yeah. So
no, I don't want a load of annoyed investors coming to me in a couple of years' time. But look, at the moment, these properties down there. The only reason I know is because I've got a very good mate of mine that works down there.
Okay.
And so when I see him, we talk quite a lot and talk about the property market. He can look at getting. He's currently renting a 2-bed townhouse. With a massive garden opposite the pool for, I think it's 48,000 a year.
Wow, okay.
In the best community in RAK.
So what would the equivalent community be here in Dubai?
You're looking at Emirates Living.
Right, okay.
The layouts are the exact same as a 4E.
For the people that have no idea what you're talking about, what is a 4M or what is a 4E?
4M, 4E. 4E is an end unit of the same. All it is 2-bedroom plus a maid's room.
Cool.
Nice units, shared bathroom upstairs. And look, it's a great place for new families to come. When I say new families, you're either talking husband and wife and maybe a little kid. But that's the equivalent down there. It's a great place at the moment. And it's just everything. I saw on Instagram the other day, Nikki Beach is opening up down there. You've also you've got so many of these big companies in Dubai that carrying the name. It's going to be moving down there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you've got the money now and you want to get a return on your investment straight away, Dubai's the place to be.
Yep.
I mean, I would always say at the moment holiday homes over long-term rentals. But with holiday homes, you're going to get a lot more stress. You need to probably, if you have a lot of time, you need to then look at paying for a company, for example, like Conchel, who we work with, paying for them to manage the property to make sure you've always got people in there and everything like that. But if you've got some money parked up somewhere, you want to put it somewhere and you can wait 5-10 years for it to really appreciate in the price. I would honestly sit there and suggest rack at the moment.
Well, that's the thing you want to look at as well, isn't it? If you're looking at inflation, if you have got your money just sat in a bank not doing anything with it, you're losing cash every year.
I agree. It's the worst time ever to have money just laid in the bank without just sitting there. So everything is just getting more expensive day after day. The cost of living and the money is just laid there. It's not touched. So I would say, I mean, Dubai remains. I agree with Freddie. It's the hottest spot on the planet right now. Everybody wants to come and live in Dubai. When you go back home, go to UK or go to anywhere in Europe, everybody, when you just say, you live in Dubai, everybody wants to just, I want to come and live there. Yeah. Basically, everybody wants to move, and they see what's happening here, the lifestyle, everybody wants to have that life. They know they can come to Dubai and then they have that life change. It happens to us. Everybody feels more comfortable. The system, the way they designed the city, the government and their efforts of putting, creating like proper system to be trusted. We have clients, we've never seen them coming to Dubai, and they bought property. They haven't even seen their properties, and they're just making money. Yeah, and the properties.
It's a trend. It's a trend moving in Dubai, living in Dubai at the moment.
It is. Some people, they haven't seen the property and they already doubled the price. Yeah. And that's what you can only get that in Dubai. And also the fact that Dubai is probably, I don't know, but it's probably one of the only places in the world that they introduce mortgage for internationals. So people who've never been to Dubai, that never worked in Dubai, they have nothing to do with Dubai. They don't even have the residence here, and they're still entitled to 60% of the total price of the property. 100%. They can get that from the bank. I mean, that's,
it's huge.
Where would you get that?
I mean, as you say, exactly. Like, they do similar things in the UK, but you're talking outrageous interest rates. The interest rates now compared to anywhere else in the world for mortgages in Dubai are, well, wouldn't say so much comparable, but it's definitely more attractive than, say, getting a mortgage in the UK. I mean, if you look at the number of mortgage buyers in the market now, I mean, we've been doing this for, 4 years now? If you remember a mortgage buyer from 3-4 years ago, interest rates were great, but every once in a while you'd get a mortgage buyer. Now, if you get a cash buyer, it's obviously a rarity. So
I actually think it's a little bit different. Because, I mean, dealing with villas normally anyway, you're going to be dealing with a lot more people with mortgages, especially in the expat communities like the ranches, Victory Heights. So you're going to deal with a lot more people with mortgages, but you're seeing a lot of cash buyers in the market as well at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot of these people that have been here. What I'm seeing quite a lot of renting a unit, and then it ends up it's more expensive to rent that unit than it is to go and buy the one next door. Yep. Just because of the mortgage payments. So you're seeing a lot more people buying because of that. But then, look, I personally don't think ever seen so much cash in Dubai at the moment. Yeah. You know what it's like in the office. You've got people running in left, right and centre just with bags of it. I mean, I feel like I'm swimming sometimes. I sat there going, what on earth is going on here? Yeah. But
we must say though, we do stick to AML and KYC laws, guys.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Please don't come after us.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean. You say it's so much different. I mean, in terms of, we started in 2019, and at the time you could rent a 1-bedroom apartment in downtown for 75, 80k. During obviously COVID, it dipped dramatically to 60, 65, but still now you're looking at the same apartments now that are 3-4 years older. You're renting them for what, 110, 120,
I mean,
up to 140. So
yeah, I know this personally, so I'm looking at moving there to Matt Kills too.
yeah,
Last year, you're looking at renting around 40, 45. This year, you'd be lucky to get one for 75,000.
100%.
And that's just a year. And talking to Alberto, our Syrian fighter, he did great the other week, I feel like we must say. But
Up the hurricane.
Yeah.
But
hurricane.
what he's saying is, for example, he specialised into Matt Kills too.
Yeah.
He had hardly anyone that wanted to sell. So like, why'd I sell? I'm losing money, but the rent's crap. So why'd I do this? Like, I don't know what to do. He's getting 2-3 new listings on a week at the moment, just from people calling him. I mean, don't get me wrong, Matt comes down to being a good broker as well, because he's got that personality. I'm sure we'll touch on that later about what is a good broker. But he's now got people that he's built a relationship up down the line, going, right, the market's great again. Let's sell. So I think I do think there's a bit of a chance we might see it go up again.
So that's one of the things we want to discuss. So as in, if you have a client that as an investor and he's never been to Dubai, and you're going to be basically the guide for him, what would you tell him? Like, what would you be your top, let's say, ticks that he's not allowed to compromise on?
It's not so much like top ticks of what he wants to compromise on. You see, you just need to qualify him correctly. You see too many brokers at the minute
but if he doesn't know where to go, because it's just easy to go to one of the brokers just want to sell a property that's never been sold. It's difficult to sell and just give it to somebody he basically doesn't know the city. Yeah. But how would you qualify him? Well, it depends what
kind of person it is, because say investors either think with numbers or they think with feelings. Obviously, the numbers still need to make sense with the feelings, but some people can be persuaded more so by how they feel when they see the property compared to what the numbers are. So it's one of those things, you need to do the research. You need to obviously sit down with them and go, look, this is the top trending areas. There's obviously so many different platforms that you can use, be it Property Finder, DXB Interact, Property Monitor. You can sit down, obviously show them the data. Like, look, this is what you're looking for. So as you say, you speak to investors, some of them care about their capital appreciation. If I buy it now, when can I sell it? And if I sell it at that point, what extra am I going to make? So if they care about that, then you look at the trends in terms of, well, look, this property sold a year ago for this price. If they were to sell it today, they would get this price. So then you sit down and go, well, what's had the highest areas of that? Yeah. Then you look at the return on investment. If you want purely a strong return on investment, then what do you deem a strong return? Yeah. Some people, which still baffles me, work in gross returns, which is mental. Like the Burj Khalifa, unbelievable building, has reasonably good gross return on investment, but the net is diabolical because the service charges are so expensive. So
what are the service charges?
I think right now we're at 62 dirhams a square foot.
Jesus Christ. That's mental, isn't it?
But it takes 3 months to clean it top to bottom, so it's going to be
Well, we had a new girl. We were doing a quiz this week, weren't we? We had the new girl, bless her heart. One of the questions was, how tall is the Burj Khalifa? She looked at me, shocked, went, I don't know, 88 metres. I was like, oh, bless you.
Times it by 10, maybe. Yeah. But as you say, it just depends on different people. So you just need to understand, like, no two investors are the same way no two brokers are the same. Yeah. Speak to them, qualify them, build a relationship, find out, are they numbers orientated or are they numbers and feelings orientated, and then kind of push it from there.
I agree. Qualification is the most important part of our job, because this is what makes our life easier and gets you a step closer to closing your deal, especially for the new starters, new brokers coming to Dubai, and they we all get excited once we receive a call from a client and you just want what we advise basically is just like, don't just jump on the thing and just take him out as soon as he calls you. Like, you need to speak to him, see what he's looking for exactly, what's his budget, what he's all the things we need to ask as related to the property and his requirements. So once we take him out, at least we take in most of his requirement that basically gets you a step closer to closing the deal.
I mean, I've got a clear example of this. Last year, had a lead come through. Qualified them. They're they're inquiring on a Type 7 in Sahil. Their position was that they had to sell their unit in Dubai Hills to purchase this one. And one thing my mentor taught me when I first got here is if someone needs to sell to buy, they're not in a position to buy. So there's no point going out doing viewings with them and everything because what they like might not be available. Anyway, so I dropped the lead, left it in the lead pool, and one of the guys in the office came up to me going, "Oh, I've just shot you, I've got this lead." I go, "Oh, yeah, they're not in a position to buy though, mate." Goes, "Yeah, they are. They want to view. I go, "All right, sweet. Like, go and view it." I think he went and viewed it at 8:30 in the morning or something. I was just going on. I was like, "No, this buyer is not in a position to buy." Anyway, he got an offer through. I sat there going, "Oh, might fuck this one up a little bit." but anyway, it come down to the offer. The offer didn't actually end up getting accepted. It was too low. But it was subject to the sale of their property. What the seller turned around straight away, it was like, "No, I'm not signing on the hope that they sell their property." And so from qualifying the client and asking 5-6 pretty important questions, I saved so much time. Then that one person, he's jumped on it, gone, "Oh, you know what, we'll take this forward, they're ready to buy." Gone through all the emotions of getting an offer, negotiating the offer and everything, to then just being, "Oh yeah, we can't sign this at the moment."
It's like you say, deals come and go, cash comes and goes. The one thing that you will never get back, regardless of how much money you are worth or what you're making, is your time.
100%.
So say, just spend an extra 10-15 minutes speaking to a client could save you hours, if not days, when it comes to the messing around. Say, it's something I learned fairly early on. I mean, I had these 2 mortgage buyers, never got pre-approved, but obviously I'd only been doing the job, 6 months at this point. I think the second client I dealt with for sales. Only could do viewings on weekends. So I did a viewing with them for at least 3 hours every single Saturday for 2 months. And at the end of all of it, because I didn't qualify them properly, we went to JVC to do viewings, Dubai Creek Harbour to do viewings. We were in Business Bay, downtown, DIFC. And after all of that, they never even ended up buying anything, because when they actually decided they wanted this one, I showed them in Dubai Creek Harbour, they applied for the mortgage was rejected. So
it's all going back to the qualification.
Exactly.
You don't take somebody out without having the pre-approval.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but especially now that I've been here for a bit of time and you've got a bit of a leg to stand on, you can call yourself a community expert. If someone calls me up and said, "I want to view Arabian Ranches 1, 2 and 3, Victory Heights, and I want to go over to Dubai Hills, and you know what, I heard about Damac Hills as well, can we try 1 and 2, can we organise a day worth of viewing?" 9 times out of 10 I'll turn around and go, "You're not in it, you don't know what you want."
Correct.
I wouldn't take
I wouldn't go down. I'm not here for the journey. For new brokers, 100%. To be honest with you, even if they're not that serious, don't get me wrong, I only take them out if you think they're gonna offer. Don't be taking out any of these random people
that you pull in the mall, stuff like that.
Them all. But
I mean, one of the things
gets you around it. It helps you learn the community. Practice actually doing it. But
I remember one before they changed the weekends. It used to be the Friday. So I remember like Friday morning. It's one lady. She just called me and about 8 o'clock in the morning. She said, "Oh, I'm in City Walk now. I called for your properties in downtown. I'm open for downtown. Also, if you have something in Business Bay or like DFC, I'm also, I can also view Marina or the Palm." And then I just stopped her there and just say, "Okay, I also got Silicon Oasis, I got Dera, I got JLT, I got like that," and I just being sarcastic. And I literally thought, "I'm really sorry. You called me for downtown. I got downtown now. I can." Wait for you to come here and then let's just view the apartment, because before I see you I need to know where you want to live first." She just came, she saw the apartment and she closed the deal on the spot.
Perfect.
So it's just like I mean, you need to know the client before you take the client out. They need to know where they want to live. You can't just run
definitely
be driving around Dubai from top to bottom.
It's like you said there, it's different if they come into your unit where you are. Do you know what I mean? If it's, for example, if someone wants to start the journey, I'll go, "Look, I'll go and show you Arabian Ranches and Victory Heights. Any of the other communities, more than anything, I know him well enough to walk around and show a house, but I couldn't sit there. For example, ask me a question about the ranches, I'll be able to sit there and answer all the questions. I don't find anything more embarrassing than going, look, to be honest with you, I know I'm supposed to be an expert in the market, but I don't know what the service charges are in Damac Hills too. Let me come back to you, let me do this. And it's another thing that it actually baffles me, where agents want to be Dubai agents in a whole, like I'm drawing a circle here, not just a community agent.
Yeah, it stresses me out.
I can't understand why someone would want to dive in and have 30, 40 listings. If they're good, well packaged, it looks great. But if they're in 30, 40 different places in Dubai, then you're sort of static and you're like, well, you can't
as we say, what makes you the good broker? One of the things is knowledge, and you can't have knowledge in all these places because it's impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say, if you've been doing this job for 20 years and you literally know every spot in Dubai, but you can't because Dubai, is new.
There's new buildings hand over every single day. So,
I feel like sometimes people's egos come into it.
Yeah.
For example, if I have a buyer that comes through for downtown, for example, or I'm viewing with they're viewing villas that I actually want a downtown apartment for rent to rent out, I will pass that buyer on to one of you twos, and I'll go, can you go through the journey with them, find them what they want on downtown, and then either sort me out at the end of it, or if you want to be particular about it, we get an A to A sign. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've got some people that will get a buyer through, and they're like, oh, I'm an apartment broker, but I'm going to go view every single villa community available, in hope that this buyer does something. They won't want to ask questions. They don't want help.
This is what stresses me out, and it's same with anything. Like new brokers, especially when they haven't done any kind of sales before, they don't want to ask the questions because they're scared they might get an answer that they don't like. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, I don't want to ask if there's anything they're worried about in case they are. It's like, how are you going to be able to accurately help that client unless you know what their issues are? Like, you can never close someone that isn't ready to close. It's one of the things that annoys me is people talk about high pressure sales tactics. Doesn't work in properties. No. I mean, you can't force someone to put their hand in the pocket and say, for instance, looking at a 2-bed in downtown, spend best part of $600,000-$700,000 on an apartment because you're going to force it down the throat. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I think that's one thing that a lot of agents don't understand. Like, they think, oh, I don't know why this deal's falling through. It's like, well, where's the cash? Oh, I don't know. Right, okay, brilliant. Where's the money? I'm not too sure. Are they ready to buy yet? Yeah, I don't know. So why aren't they taking it? Because they're not ready to buy. Like, I hate I think so or maybe. Yeah. It's yes or no. Like, I know this or I don't know this. So
let's get straight to the point. What makes Alex the good broker?
So you enjoy saying that, man. I think straight to the point. I saw that little smile on your face.
Trademark Point Blank Properties.
Yeah.
So for me, I forget. One thing is structure. Having a structure in your day. If you come in, you stroll into the office 45 minutes late, you've not got any idea what you're going to be planning out. I mean, so even something simple like at the end of the day before you leave the office, right, tomorrow, what do I need to do because I've not done X, Y, and Z today? Yeah. Structure your day out. If you don't have structure, you're going to run like a headless chicken. Yeah. You're never going to close anything. You're never going to have any clients. People will have no trust in you.
Yeah, I mean, it's as we say, it's not a job. It's not an office job from 9 to 5. So every day has to be productive. And if you don't have this, structures and you need to know what's your target for today. If you haven't got a deal, then you need to get a listing. If you haven't got a listing, manage to get viewings or get a lead. So you need to, something has to be done at least for them.
I think it is fair to say though, like, to give a bit of slack, I'm sure we've all been it. The way the real estate game works here, it's a roller coaster. Go up and down. And I know for myself, finding yourself in the right way, doing viewings, getting offers, nothing's falling for you. No. It's easy to get demotivated, but the main thing is just to remember the end game. Mm-hmm. I mean, because as soon as you start getting demotivated, that's when your practices fall out of place. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? That's when you come in, you're like, oh, you know what, I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
What's the time? No, it's 2:00. Should we go to the pub? Do you know what I mean? You turn it into, that's when you turn it into,
I mean,
just like an
especially for the
office
new
space.
brokers, we all go through this, this
Exactly.
phase. When we start, we all get depressed, we all get demotivated. If you're not making money, basically, we're on commission base. So if you're not making your money, nobody is going to pay you.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only way, sometimes you just have to sit down and think, do you have any other choice apart from making this work?
I know.
So reaction. So you have to react to that. I mean, and it's the kind of jobs you have to be responsible, because if you're not responsible, basically, you're going to get lost.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not going to be making money for a month, then nobody's going to give you that money. So
Got to be self-reflective as well. I mean, the big thing is 90% of the time when a deal hasn't happened or people haven't made money, you hear things like, "Oh, the buyer's not ready."
It's always someone else's
buyer's
fault.
an idiot, or
That's not for
I can't
me,
it's not for me, or the seller doesn't want to accept it, or X, Y, and Z. They never turn around and go, "Do you know what? I've messed up. I've not worked hard enough. I've not made enough calls. I've not done enough viewings. I've not qualified enough people." It's never the broker's fault. It's always the data. Oh, it's the market. When the market's amazing, the market's too hot, so the prices are too expensive. The market's too slow. It's too slow.
There's too many buyers in the market.
People are different, agents are different. Everybody has to have his own way to do this work. I mean, as we say, you're for example, you like doing calls, and you like to get listings through this way. I've never done it. Like, I'm always out and about.
I think it's such an important thing, though. Yeah, it is. I think calls are, like, don't get me wrong, some people it works for going out, doing the networking and getting listings that way. But, I mean, I won't mention their name, but my first company here, I don't know if we can actually, but the first company here, they were calls.
Yep.
In at 9 o'clock. Call out in the morning, lunch, call out in the afternoon, home at 5:30, 6 o'clock. And one of my favourite things they did is they sent out a call list at 12 o'clock. They sent out a call list at 6 o'clock with everyone's name on it and who's making what calls. We all used to be sat there at lunch and we'd be opening up our phone and we're like, oh fuck, the emails are through it. But it's that competition. Yeah. Because even if you're not closing deals, if you're on top
but at the end of the
it,
day, as a business owner, you would, at the end you want people to make deals. People are different. What's the point if you're doing calls in the office? You're not aware of your area. You need to be out to see your area.
Correct.
You need to, also, I mean, we do calls for listings, for leads. There's different ways of doing it, but the most important thing, you really need to get educated about your area, knowledge.
No, definitely. And
sitting in the office, it's part of the job. I would say, like, is one of the main factors that we do calls in doing this job. But I think more important, you need to be out and about. You can see,
the issue is when you're making these calls, but these calls are not getting anywhere, so you're not leaving the office. Yeah, that's where, because what are the calls for? The calls are to get listings. What listings do? Get you out in your communities, meeting people, learning the areas, learning the types as well. When you're sat there calling and you're not getting any listings, that's when the struggle comes with, all right, what's going wrong here? Yeah. So if you're sat here doing 500, 600 calls a week, and why aren't you going out? Why aren't you getting these listings? Do you know what I mean? And
so for new brokers, the biggest thing is, I mean, we've all been there. First day on the floor, you walk in, you spend the whole day making calls. Second day on the floor, spend the whole day making calls. After the end of the first week, you see brokers that have been there for a few months, for a couple of years, dipping in and out of the office all the time. Yeah. And then that's kind of where you're at the point where you go, I want to do that. But say you need to do that bit first to be able to do
try and run
that bit.
Run before they can walk. Exactly. I mean, one of the things that annoys me the most, to be fair, I heard you having the conversation earlier, it's when people turn around and go, I'm not calling, I'm sending WhatsApps. Yeah. WhatsApp blast, yes. Do it in one quick motion, get them out to everyone. Sweet, you get responses. People are busy, 100%. People can't always pick up the phone. But it's the people that annoy me that go, I'm only WhatsApping. Same with everything though. Yeah. If you sit there and always call and it doesn't work, try WhatsApps.
Yeah.
If you sit there and always send WhatsApps, it doesn't work. Try calls.
Yeah.
The perfect what I personally do is call.
It's irritating, especially when you get an offer and you send the offer through WhatsApp.
Honestly,
this is like
no.
literally, this is like killing your job.
I nearly threw someone out the window for doing that the other week.
I
It was
know.
like literally I was like, have you spoke to the owner? Yeah, I've sent him a
Yeah, I sent
message.
him WhatsApp,
Why?
yeah.
Like, why have you sent him a message? Like,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
taken all the power out of what you're doing there.
I was just doing the hard work and just like literally spoiling everything in one second
yeah.
just by sending.
But it's also customer
WhatsApp,
service,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if someone was giving me an offer on my house, and they sent it through on WhatsApp, I'd sit there and go, "All right, good," but I actually want to ask questions about this and where the offer. That's how I like to practice, not only real estate but any business I do. How would you like to be treated on the other end of it?
Correct. Same with viewings. Like when I first started, the biggest worry, because I mean, I've come from cold calling background. Like I'm used to sitting, smashing 200-300 calls a day. So when I first came into real estate, the thing was like, oh my God, how do I do a viewing?
Yeah.
But then obviously I just thought back and I was like, actually, this is the easiest part of all of it because properties sell themselves. You don't need to wander around and be like, oh, this is a table or this is in fact a microphone. Like you just need to go, look, have a wander around, have a look, any questions, come back to me. So it's just trying to get that into, say, people's heads that in terms of be it viewings or calls or deals or offers, anything kind of new brokers are worried about, they need to speak up to line managers, other agents.
Yeah.
And it's the thing here, a lot of people suffer in silence. Like they'll sit there and it's like, oh, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, it's going to work. Unfortunately, unless you are willing to speak out and say obviously that you need X, Y, and Z kind of help, you a lot of time can be kind of overlooked because real estate, unfortunately, everyone's so busy all the time doing stuff. Unless you're the loudest person in the room, it's very difficult to kind of see where you're going.
But I mean, there's two things on that. One thing that I know we've been saying quite a lot is if you're too scared to come up to one of the managers, or come up to your owner to ask a question, you're going to be too scared to pick up the phone to call a client.
Yeah.
If you can't talk to someone that you're working with every single day in the office, then I feel like there's a stigma behind real estate that anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be easy. It's not.
Yeah.
The stress, it's 24/7.
I mean,
constantly.
until you jump on the job and you know all the tricks, you know how to deal with clients. We always say the first 3 months for the new brokers, you always have to speak to your manager.
Yeah.
Even if you always get the second opinion because you don't know until you know the second opinion.
But I mean, again, it's an industry full of egos.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I feel like that's one of the reasons why the industry does so well and the people that do well, because it takes a certain sort of person to be able to go and meet a random family or a random investor and straight off the bat talk to them, and in that, if you're viewing an apartment or villa, in that 20 minutes convince them to buy what is probably going to be one of, if not the biggest asset they own. It takes a certain sort of person to be able to do that. And those people are going to be the ones with the egos. They are going to be able to stand there and do that.
Flip side of that, it's not even just you say dealing with families, like where normally it will be the biggest decision you're going to make. If you're dealing with an investor that's got unlimited resources, it's how do you manage to go up to them, speak to them, say, look, I am the dog's bollocks.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. You might have dealt with X, Y, and Z brokers before, but from now on you're working with me. And how do you take them from that person to somebody else, from that broker and bring them over to you? Like it's having the ability to kind of go in there, and even if you're not 100% like kind of self-assured, showing them that you are by the knowledge and obviously the information that you have available.
Yeah, I think last year, because real estate in Dubai was like, such a massive job to do, and that's because of all the people coming to Dubai, moving, buying, and that created a lot of low quality brokers. That a lot of them, they don't even speak English. They don't know what to do. They don't even know what RERA means. They don't like, they literally don't know anything about the real estate brokers. I remember I met somebody and then she just like told me, oh, she's the managing director of whatever company. Oh, how many people do you work for? Oh, no, just me. She's the managing director of herself. And then how long we've been in Dubai is 2 weeks. And then she became basically the expert of real estate in Dubai and looking for like to do.
It's a quick turnaround.
And I think like that made kind of like turned a lot of people off when you say like, oh, everybody's doing real estate in Dubai. there's a lot of changes happening this year, to be honest, because I think they wanted, positive, like putting back the rewrite exams, for example, make them also, they have to pay fees for that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of companies that they haven't really done it, they don't have the structures. And that's why we advise everybody that wants to do the job, work for a company that has structures, has system, they look after you doing the marketing. And that's, if we compare, we've been working together for about 4 years. We worked together in previous company.
Yep.
Being a broker, feeling what we go through, especially in the start of, the beginning of the career.
Yep.
Your struggles, what should be done for you, and all of that, and we basically tackling all these issues. For example, you get frustrated when you have a property that is exclusive, and then your company takes them about 3 days to publish. All right, within the 3 days, somebody else is gonna basically sell it or rent it, or it's gonna go away. So that's why we choose the company before you start your career, because there's probably, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of real estate companies in Dubai now. But
I mean, you just need to look through Property Finder. Every single day, you look through your community, there's a new little profile picture pop up.
Yeah,
you don't know where this is.
Close to 15,000 registered real estate brokers in Dubai. I mean, when me and you started, there was 7, 8.
I mean,
registered, doubled in
this
4 years.
I mean, with broker numbers. That's why. What was your broker number?
Can't remember that.
Don't remember. Quick, get out.
4092.
Mine's 49. Mine's 49, and I started a year after you.
Yeah, as a Freddie, as a broker, if you choose 2 things to do that makes you really the good broker, what would you choose?
I think the one of the main ones would have to be confidence.
Confidence.
You can't teach confidence.
Exactly.
No. I mean, it is to have someone to walk in a room and to stir something up on a sales floor positively, not negatively. I'm not talking about someone that'll come in and just cause shit for the fun of it. But I mean, to come in and have the confidence, sit there in a room of 40, 50 people who've never met before and pick up the phone and go bang, bang. I remember, again, my first company here. So when I came, I was 18. I got told in my week of training, why have we hired him? Because of my age. And I carry that. I was like, you know what? It was like, Billy Big Bollocks over here. I was like, fuck it, let's go here. So we get out onto the sales floor and we're doing a call out session. I had the managing director stood in front of me, near enough nose to nose, whilst I'm on phone to the client. I held eye contact the whole time.
And that's when you fell in love.
Yeah. And I went in for a kiss and got fired. No, but held eye contact the whole time and organised a valuation for the day after.
Yeah.
Whereas this person was trying to not put me down, not make it difficult.
Just trying to put you in a pressure cooker.
Put a bit of pressure on it. And the confidence to be able to sit there and do it. That's what you need in this industry. You need one of the things is in the meetings.
I mean, nobody's going to be investing millions with somebody's shaking, or somebody doesn't know what they're doing, or somebody's not confident enough to just tell you that the right thing.
Exactly.
What's the second thing?
Second thing. Put me on. Personable, to be fair. The way I hold interviews, because I mean, I think real estate it's a personality game.
Yeah.
Real estate, you can be taught the area. You can be taught how to talk on the phone.
What questions to ask.
What questions to ask, how to hold yourself. And
you gain the knowledge, but you don't gain the skills.
There's
the skills is yours.
Core personality traits that you need. Confidence and personable. You need to be able to sit there and hold a conversation.
Yeah.
That's right.
You need to. You can't sit there twiddling your thumbs or getting nervous about answering a question. Or asking one. You need to be able to sit there and have it. They come hand in hand. Have the confidence in yourself that what you're going to say is going to work out. And also have the personality trait that a little bit you don't really give a fuck what people how they look at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the most important thing people need to remember when they come over here, you need to stand out from everyone.
Yeah.
If you're the person doing the call outs telling the seller that's asking $1 million dirhams more than the market rate, no mate, you're being completely unrealistic here. I'm not going to work on your property, so I'm not going to waste my time. That seller will turn around and be like, you know what, this guy's not like bullshitting me here. He actually, he's telling me the facts, he's telling me the truth, and he will listen to you. You build your own credibility with the confidence and personal.
You can't be a yes man. Like if you're a yes man, you're never going to go anywhere. Like I hate people that's like, I mean, we've all had these kind of clients as well, where it's like, yes, 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 and at the end they just disappear. Never see them again. It's like, well, what happened to all these yeses? Because obviously there was something that was worrying them that hadn't been asked. So yes men, be it if you're a broker, if you're dealing with a buyer, oh, can this happen? You don't know. You're like, oh yeah, it can. Yeah. Because you don't want to tell them, well, no, we can't do that. You just tell them yes, and you think, oh, I'll worry about that later. And then that becomes the single biggest issue that either blows the deal up or ends up causing you huge major issues, like come transfer day or after. So
I remember
never be a yes man.
You were telling me the story of you're dealing with an investor, and long story short, they said yes to a question that they didn't know the answer to. And on the back of that, lost 100. This client went and bought quite a few things through this agent.
Yeah.
And then found out that the original deal that the agent just said yes to, in hope that knowing it will close if he says yes, and not knowing the answer, lost how much is that client was looking at investing?
What he made, so he bought over 360 million dirhams worth of property off plan.
That's a client for life.
Exactly, and as a result, I mean, so basically, I mean, I don't know. There you go. This is one thing about Point Blank Properties brokers. We are trustworthy. We tell the truth. He asked me the question. I said no because, based upon what it was, no was the answer.
I mean, let's be honest. We go straight to the point all the time, and don't you forget that.
I mean, we include that in the training. One of the things we have to,
you gotta be trustworthy.
You know, we have to teach them these tricks. Basically, one of the highest qualities in the agent, they have to be honest. You can't fake the facts. And you know, somebody who's investing basically all their savings into something, you can't play around with that.
No.
So you really have to be honest.
What baffles me, people invest so much into themselves. It's going to come on. It's a question of mine I want to ask in a minute. People invest so much into themselves, come here, and then completely forget what they're here to do.
Yeah, I know.
And it baffles me. People,
you can get lost up in it.
It was going to be my question to everyone. It's like, if you could change one thing at the start of your career, or you got one regret at the start of your career, what would it be? So I mean, I know mine straight off the back.
So do I. I wish I had listened to the people above me rather than thinking I knew better, because I wasted so much time with clients. Like when I was working for my previous company, my manager at the time just kept saying to me, "Look, you're wasting your time with these clients. Leave them and focus on other stuff." I was like, "Well, no, they're definitely going to do X, Y, and Z." Yeah. They didn't. I ended up wasting 2-3 months, and for what I thought could have been a potential big payday, I missed out on several other paydays because while I was focused on this, all of those listings I got exclusive, I had them live, well priced, ended up being sold for other brokers because I was looking over here rather than focused on what I should have been doing there. So I wish I'd listened to my manager and mentor at the time.
Yeah, I mean, mine would be, I mean, I hope my nan's not listening because she'll be furious about this. I got lost in the lifestyle. Yeah. To be honest with you, I know we laugh. And when I first got here, a young buck I like to call myself, straight off the plane, or got all these flashing lights, everything. Yeah. I go to work and it's all good. I was on a mentorship. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have to worry about the clients wasting time or doing. My job was to learn. Yeah. Weekend viewings didn't really have to do unless my mentor had been out on the piss the night before and he asked me to go along to it. Yeah. But what I would end up doing then, because I'm getting some sort of salary, I'd be out Friday night, out Saturday night, out Sunday night, crawling back into work for about 9 o'clock in the morning, recovering until Wednesday because I've had such a heavy weekend. Wednesday night beers. You know what? It's Thursday. Thursday's basically Friday, isn't it? do you know? But it's getting in this loop. Yeah. And it's not since I've grown up and like matured a little bit. I've looked back and gone, where I am now. I'm happy. I'm on my plan. I'm getting where I want to be. But if I didn't get caught up in the lifestyle, caught up of just like, you've got to go out partying all the time and look at all this, You'd wonder where you'd be.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, one of the things we say we hate about, I mean, we love everything about Dubai, but there are a few things we wish they were different. Like, people get the impression of everything in Dubai about material. It is, but like, you see all these people, the influencers and stuff on social media. Everything is about how much is that, how much is your outfit, how much is your car, how much is your rent, how much is your shoes, how much is what and what. It's just like it gives really the bad image about the Dubai.
I know.
We know Dubai, like, money matters here, and then it's very, very, very
so
important
much
to
more
have
to it though than that.
but
Though, yeah.
it's a city once you land in Dubai, there's only two ways to go. As you said, you can go into that lifestyle and get lost, or you start building yourself your career and have a goal. You can, all what you do is just basically making money, planning your future.
You want to think of it in a way.
I was in such a lucky position that being on a mentorship, getting a slight salary, I was able to make this mistake. The amount of brokers I see come through now, they're fresh off the boat. I mean, so much potential as well. So much potential. They're out partying, doing this, doing that, rolling into work at 10, 11 o'clock the next day. It's like, have fun. But have fun when you made 600,000.
But this is what we call them, the limited brokers. These people are happy with 20K. Half of it goes on parties and clubbing and stuff like that. But, brokers who make the big money, they start for, as we always say, that's why we love this job. The more money you make is the more money you want to make. Okay, and that will basically, you would basically prioritize your work over going out and getting.
Put it this way, everybody. Drunk. I mean, I don't know about you boys. Obviously, we're all football fans. When I was younger, I mean, although I'm absolutely tragic at football, obviously everyone's dream was to be a Premier League footballer, right? Everybody look at it. You're watching Man United on TV.
Sub, to be fair.
Man United. Man United again.
Wait, we're not going on about how bad United are, right? But
what was it? Was the score? Anana who? Anana what?
I hate you both.
4.
But
4. Oh,
4-3.
4-3.
Alright, it's respectable.
It's respectable.
Yeah, you're one.
I mean, let's be honest. It's not quite West Ham 3-1 win against Latvian team we were playing yesterday.
I don't even know your team were playing, mate. Yeah, it's good that.
Yeah, 4-3.
But what I was saying is, we digress. What I'm saying is, so we all wanted to be Premier League footballers when we were growing up, and obviously footballers have sacrifices. They don't go out on the piss every single weekend. They have to train hard every single day, otherwise they don't make it to where they go.
It's being responsible and being like, you need to be disciplined in this job. Like I've done it myself. When you make having like a big deal. Normally, I used to go. I was the first one to go next morning, 7 o'clock in the office. I used to go before our manager. Like it's not.
I wasn't hard though.
But this is that's not you. Scotty. So it's just really being. That's why I when you see the brokers basically just like coming late and this is not the job for them.
Definitely.
No.
I mean, and
you can do that, but make money first. Do the business, and then you can have a little bit more flexibility. But you can't do all that.
When I talk about it, I know that I'm going to have a couple of my fans watching, thinking hypocrite. Because to be fair, like, I'm not going to lie about the situation. It was me all over.
Yeah.
But it's being in a position where I turn around and go, right, you know what? I am lucky. I am in a position like this. There's only one real place in the world you can be making upwards of. There was a girl in my old company. She was trying to book a flight home. She hated it. She's at the bottom of the barrel. She was scraping money together to book a flight home. The week after, she closed a deal that put 1.35 million dirhams commission on the board. One deal per. She also got a top up. I don't know if the owner knows about that, but she also got a top up that put about. I think she walked away with about 850, if not breaking the million mark in her pocket. This is just out of nowhere. there's nowhere else really in the world
I mean,
you
look,
can do something
it's
like
nothing
that.
wrong with having fun if you're gonna be working hard and making money.
It's
because
getting the right balance
because
of
then
it.
the fun will taste better. You
Yeah,
know, like
correct,
I mean,
yeah.
but don't just like basically be on zero or like less than 20k and then expect you like just go and have a nice weekend. It won't be a nice weekend
No,
because
definitely.
the stress is in your head and you're not making your wages.
The people that confuse me are the ones that have sat there and had no sort of income come in for the year, and they're the brokers walking around having laughs, like walking around the office not doing any real work.
I know.
They're the ones you sit there and go, because at the end of the day, quite honestly, I want everyone to do well, and I always say I will give everyone all the tools needed for them to do well. I'm not going to force someone to do well.
No.
I refuse to sit there and give more of a shit for someone than they give a shit about themselves. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, come on, mate, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on. I'll be like, look, we've got this, we've got that. We'll do this. We'll structure everything like that. And if they want to turn around and they don't want to do the work, halas, do you know what I mean? Like, halas.
Please, Aaron makes worse than mine.
How do you say? Halas.
Halas, yeah.
No, you were nearly right. You just absolutely sounded terrible coming out your mouth.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there.
No, I mean this job.
Inshallah, I'll get
You
there one
can't
day.
like one thing you need to have. If I choose one thing in this job, you have to be responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can't just like do what you want or like you basically you're not making money just like not listening to structures and all of that. So asking the same question to Alex, what the two top qualities you think the broker should have?
Well, as I
Apart
say,
from what he said.
yeah. So organisation. You need to organise what you are doing at all times. Be it viewings, be it obviously you've got follow-ups to do with clients, be it even actually organising those viewings specifically. What are you going to be showing if one falls through? What else do you have as a backup? What is your day going to consist of? So being organisation, and then probably the single biggest thing is being resilient, because this job is a lot of no's before you get a yes.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got to obviously keep pushing, keep grinding through. If you kind of say if you don't have a thick skin, then you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So this is why, like, in terms of if I could get my ideal broker, it'd be someone that is resilient, is organised, to good timekeeping, as you say, the personable, they've got confidence, they've got a bit of personality about them. But not only that, they're driven, they want to do well. Like the obviously, it's not a case of I don't want people that want to come in and they go, oh, I'm quite happy doing 20, 30,000 dirhams, I'll pocket 15, that's fine. You can go and get a salary job where there's less stress. I want people that go, do you know what, I genuinely want to pay off my family's mortgage at home. Yeah. Or I want to buy my first property.
You're the best example of that. I mean, you left real estate for a while, for about 6 months, and then you really missed it, and you came back.
Went to UK property. Obviously you gave me a call when we had the first Only Comms fight night, I think it was, a couple of weeks before. Tried to butter me up by telling me you wanted to buy a property in London. Absolute bullshit. So rang me up, I was like, oh yeah, I want to buy a property down there. No, by the way.
Looking, I swear we're looking, You really think so? Come on, Alex. Why? Who you are, man?
No,
who are you?
How did you qualify him? Did he qualify him correctly?
No, I thought you were. I thought he was trying to sneak in. He's like, I want to buy some property. Oh yeah, by the way, how are you finding it over there?
We're getting more in the UK, and that's where we think. But we wanted something like around London.
Kent, Tunbridge Wells, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Tunbridge Wells.
But so rang me, and then I was like, oh, I'm not too sure, but I'd already had that itch kind of at the back of my mind. I'd spoken to a couple of my friends. I was like, oh, do you know what? I kind of missed the buzz of it. I mean, because I was doing UK investment at the time. It was just different. Like, it was a great job. Obviously, great people around me. Unbelievable kind of company that I was working for. And if I'd stayed a little bit longer, I probably would have done really well. But I don't think I would have been happy. That was kind of the main thing. Like, so when you get that itch, and then obviously you said, look, I need somebody to come over and kind of help us with kind of the setup and the management and stuff. And that was literally a year ago last week.
Yeah.
So,
no, definitely.
I mean, it's the best job anybody wants. Like, if you're looking for, life change, if you're looking for a proper career, if you're looking for a shortcut into your life, buying your properties, or not planning for like the next 20 years, as people do in the UK. Living in Dubai, basically, doing real estate, it really kind of lifts your expectations high of what you want to do, what you want to achieve quicker. it's a short time. So it is the best job anybody would do. And I think once you get comfortable, it's impossible to go back for a paid job. Even if it's like a really well paid job.
No.
We still can't.
You've got freedom, you've got flexibility, and
you
you've
make your
also
own future.
Got,
You're making your own future. This is what amazes me is you could sit here and put your head down for 2-3 years, solid graft, come from nothing back home, 2-3 years, solid graft, and that's it. You could be sorted out. You could be sensible with your money, put it in certain places and stuff like that. Then you've made your future, and then you can not set back. I mean, once you get to that point in time, you want to keep going. Yeah, you're not going to want to sit back in.
No,
but again,
nothing.
I mean, it's
money
also
breeds money.
we have to be honest. It's not a job for everybody.
No, definitely not.
First, as we said, we're trying to put what makes you the good broker. As we said, you need to be that. It's a person's skills job. You need to have this skill. You need also, one of the things really important, you need to be the people's person. You need people to like you. Sometimes you're the confident, you got the knowledge, you got everything that broker needs. But
if you're an arsehole,
but then you're like basically pushing your clients, asking you on the spot, how much you're gonna pay? Like, give me an offer. Like, it doesn't work like that. If you enter the shop, once you enter the shop and somebody just following you, can I help you? You literally just walk out. Walk out straight away.
I mean,
it's the same.
This is the issue, though, is because everyone thinks they can do real estate. And they do. I saw that little look you gave me. Everyone thinks they can do it. And don't believe me, a lot more people can do an industry like real estate and do well than other ones. Don't get me wrong. But there's some people that they've tried and tried and tried. They can't crack it. They won't listen. They won't learn. They won't put their mindset to it. And some people, you do sometimes sit there and go, mate, do yourself a favour here, please. Sort yourself out. I mean, you see it all over. You see it all over Dubai. Some of the brokers not doing anything.
And it's not just that. I've done viewings with brokers before, and I've gone. I mean, I had a viewing in my apartment. So I was in my apartment. I had a broker turn up wearing a bucket hat. Like an actual bucket hat girl. So she was wearing a bucket hat. She was wearing a crop top and then a short dress. Didn't know anything about my apartment. I ended up having to speak to the buyer, kind of explaining about the... Honestly, she was like... The agent was like, how big's the apartment? I was like, right, okay. Turned to the buyer. I was like, so it's 968 square feet. It's got Went through it all out with her. And she looked more like an agent than the agent did. Like, I thought when they came in that she was the buyer and she was the agent, and it was the opposite. And I'd literally, shockingly, there was no offer that came forward. But as I say, it's because...
you see all type of people. I've seen somebody who's like literally wearing flip-flops and he's looking like he just literally came from the street.
But it ruins the credibility. It ruins the credibility for us.
All the brokers,
do you know what I mean? Like, we turn up, believe it or not, we dress like this every single day. We're not
it's dressed down Fridays. I've not got a tie on today. I normally have a tie today, so it's dressed down Fridays.
Well, I like to keep the tie on. You never know what business is going to come out.
You need people. In Dubai, the image, as we say, image is very important. People look at you like, would you trust somebody that looking like just came out of bed?
Business in general, isn't it?
To invest 10, 15 million dirham. You have to deal with somebody who's professional. So it is important to, part of the confidence. How can you be confident if you're not?
I mean, if you dress $1 million, you feel like $1 million. You know what I mean? If you dress there feeling like the dog's bollocks, they're swinging down by the knees. You're gonna it's gonna like reciprocate that. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna rub off. You're gonna.
You say like, what's the whole thing like? You've got to dress for the job you want, or dress for the career or the job you want, not for the job you have.
100%.
So same as always. If you want to be #1 broker in Dubai, so act and dress like the #1 broker in Dubai, but then back it up. Don't just wander around, swan around like,
it's all together. It's not just about dressing. You could be dressing like James Bond, but you have nothing to offer.
Exactly.
So you got to say back it. Anything you're doing, say confidence. So what's your
out
two?
Of the real estate, I mean, we're talking about real estate a lot now. So
well, I think that's pretty much us realistically. So
I reckon we got one more topic in us.
I
reckon. It's got to be my favourite. I've been thinking about it.
Let's just ask one quick question. One thing you like about Dubai and one thing you don't like.
One thing I like about Dubai.
apart from parties and wasted.
I don't do partying anymore. I told you, my nan's listening. I behave myself and keep my head down, all right? Nice to see you, nan.
Okay.
What do I like about Dubai? I mean, the main one has to be, outside of summer, of course, the weather.
Yeah.
It's something about every... My favourite...
You like or you don't like?
I like.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, summer's awful. But for the 3-4 months of summer, for the other 8, it's completely worth it. There's something about... When the weather's right, on a Sunday, we get down to the beach at 9 in the morning, either Ula or Wave Break or somewhere like that. We'll go down into 4. We've all got our paddle boards, and we stand there and we play paddleball until the sun goes down at night.
Yeah.
On a Sunday.
Yeah.
And stuff like that you can't get anywhere else.
No.
And you sit there, and it's when you stand there looking over the sea, no matter how much of a shit week you've had, looking over the sea, you've got the Dubai Eye, you've got blue water, skyline and stuff like that, even turning back on Marina, watching the golden sun come down, it's when you go, right, I actually live here. This is my life.
So you like the weather?
Yeah.
One thing you don't like?
Well, I mean, that's... I mean, yes, I like the sun.
Okay.
But
I was painting
also doesn't like the sun. I love that. Like, honestly,
So you like the way in the winter and you don't like...
I nearly had a tear coming out there, man.
Maz was like, so you don't like the weather?
You like the way in the winter.
Such a beautiful
and you don't
scenery.
like the way in the summer. Okay. So
All right, no, don't cut me off. I can't wait for your question, mate. We're going to critique this.
So, nice and easily.
all right, Alex.
So, I don't like the prices of beer. I think that should definitely come down.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And one thing I do like, uncapped tax-free earnings.
Yeah.
Done.
Come on then, Maz. We've all
Easy.
been waiting for yours. What
about
do you
Dubai.
like?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I really like the fact that Dubai helps people to develop.
Yeah.
You know, everything is built.
Oh, you
for-
can't even critique that one.
know,
Yeah, it's,
yeah.
it's a
Right?
great
Yeah,
thing.
That's
I'll
serious.
sit down and shut up.
That's serious. One thing I don't like about Dubai, I just wish these influencers in Dubai they just disappear.
Oh. No,
Yeah, I think that's
awful.
Yeah,
awful.
honestly, I just give the bad image.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes everything about
So that's just
the
influence in
question
general.
of how much.
Yeah.
Things that annoys me, you get some people that come here from backgrounds that, not glamorous backgrounds, from different cultures, build themselves up so much, make such a name for themselves and done so well for themselves. For them to say, I live in Dubai, everything they get done is tarnished.
I mean, Dubai is so much more than what these people like.
Exactly.
The way they
But
make
it's
it look
jealousy.
like. To be honest,
Yeah,
it's yeah.
It comes down to jealousy, I'd say. How it gets a picture, because these influencers want to make other people feel jealous.
Yeah.
But then that's when the bad names come forward and like how
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
react
yeah,
and
yeah.
oh, look at them over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But yeah.
Right.
So, you want to do the outro? I'll do the outro. So, guys, that was straight to the point. If you liked what you saw, we will be doing this potentially bi-weekly, monthly, or never again, depending upon who actually tunes in to watch it. So, we'll see you next time.
thank you.